Okay, live audio anyway. Video. And we're back. All right. Don't really have need for the webcam anymore. Might as well leave it up there. It's not really doing any harm. There we go. Okay, so still on Ballad of a Hungry Ghost. And right, so as I mentioned in the Mixer's Log number 52 video, sort of the baseline meter reading, the word keeps escaping me. Not protocol. What's the damn word? Not baseline. Ugh, God, man, getting older. I just basically overall, I was balancing brightness and sonority on Airwindows meter, trying to get them as close to 50-50 parity as possible on average throughout the course of the mix. Although it was on average, it was probably more like 60 to 65 bright, 35 to 40 sonority on average. And it needs dark. It has to have some dark. Dark has to be on the radar at least. And so based on past experience, I think it has to do with the amp sims that I used in the M Audio Black Box, which is a fine thing, the M Audio Black Box. It has a lot of great features, but the amp sims are not the greatest. They're just a little bit, especially the distortions, the fuzzes, they just tend to be extremely bright and not warm enough, not dark enough. So anyway, that's what I'm on about now. And so I had to go back and I just forgotten everything about this song, the chords, the key, everything. And so first I had to figure out what key it was in, and I knew I had it capoed. It started with an acoustic guitar riff, and took me a few minutes, but I finally figured out that it was capoed on the 3rd fret, and the song is in C minor. So let's test playback here. Yeah, that's the although let's see, that actually has that opening that opening chord, that opening big chord actually has a little bit of C major in it as well. It's got a little bit of dissonance between minor third and major third, but predominantly it's C minor. And all right, so it was based on a riff on this acoustic guitar right here, and the riff took me a little while to refigure it out, but something like this. And what that is I actually went and looked up the chords. So the riff is resolving on a C sus9, which is just the open string minus the low E string. Strings 1 through 5 open C sus9. But starts now. This would be if all 5 strings were sounding, it would be a C minor 7. But I'm damping the first and third strings with my fingers. So technically, that's just that is just. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's it is technically just a C minor triad, right? And then sliding up, just sliding up 2 frets, and that would make that a C6 sus. Sus what? Sus 2, sus 4? I don't know. 4, and then on the 5th time, and then so rolling up to the G with the index finger, and then all 5 strings are sounding, and that's a C7 sus. Again, sus 2 or sus 4? Why doesn't it specify? Sus 4 with the F, and then to the C sus9, C4, C sus 4 with an add 9. So that's the main riff. And the chord progression is simple enough. It's just, let me see, C minor, B flat major, C minor, B flat major, C, G sharp or A flat major, and then G major. I died surrounded by such precious things as only certain vaunted bloodlines bring. Technically, that would be a B flat, a G sharp major 7. Because I was using this this chord, and okay, so for one of these parts, yeah, sus 4. Thanks, Jonathan. So I've got 2 parts that were I forget which amp sim I was using, but it's just way too harsh, and so since then, I've figured out a couple of. Yeah, I just realized something. I'm gonna have to do this. Damn. Okay. I forgot to unfreeze these tracks. And if I unfreeze them now, it's going to cause like a nasty delay in OBS, which I don't want to deal with. So now my brain is calculating a workaround. Anyway, now I love first position chords. I love the way they sound, and a lot of tutorials, basic guitar tutorials that you see on YouTube, or how to get away from cowboy chords, right? I love cowboy chords. I love first position chords. I think they're the best sounding chords. I mean, for a solo guy like me, they're the best sounding chords. They just are. There are times when you got to use bar chords and inversions and triads and voicings, but that's really more like when you're dealing with arrangements and but like even if I like fuzz, and with a good fuzz, if fuzz is working the way it should, then even jazz chords should be no problem. I like first position chords through a fuzz, and so one of these, I believe it's this one. I was just playing first position chords all the way through. This one I was playing bar chords, and so that would be that. Doing something like that. And the other one was just electric, so I wasn't strumming it like an acoustic, but now I'm going to try to figure out what I was doing. Turn off meter, U-lean, coralometer, and see, yeah. No, the issue is not saving CPU at this point. It's for some reason, if I freeze or unfreeze, this is the freeze button, right? So I've got all these frozen to save CPU. If I freeze or unfreeze during this session with OBS running, right now I like to monitor myself through the headphones, and right now there's zero latency. But if I unfreeze these tracks, chances are that there's going to be develop like a 500 millisecond to like 1 second delay between microphone and headphone monitoring. In which case, I either have to end the session and restart it, or just go without the headphones. But I can't go without the headphones for the whole thing, so. And the problem is worse with freezing than unfreezing, but I don't want to take a chance because I just don't want to restart this live stream. So what I think I'm going to do, but you have a point, like there's no need to, I could probably just like turn off the entire two bus for the purpose of tracking. However, what I'm thinking is to duplicate these tracks and then just mute the originals. But first, I kind of want to solo them and listen to what I was doing with them individually. So, all right, that's C major. And this is the real problem right here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to turn on meter and see what these look like individually. Okay, 0 dark. Okay, well, there we go. Darkness kind of creeps in as it fades out, but then... So what do you think about that? The peaks are almost all red. It has some dark in it. So this is where I was playing the first position chords. I was playing C major. Okay, so that ends up basically 100% bright. So there's that. And then this one. That's nasty. That's just gotta go. Like, that's just... See, that's on C minor. And that was like... That's more or less what I was doing, but 99% bright. Basically, it's just that's two heavily saturated tracks. Yeah, that's an amp sim. That's baked in, man. That's the amp sim. And I know this from experience because I've already been through this. So what I'm going to do is this. So, let me see. OCS 45. I'm going to be keeping broadcast, STFU, probably basically the same chain, except I'm probably going to take out. I may or may not. This, probably I stuck this in an effort to get some darkness in there. It didn't work. So probably that's not going to be in there. But this will. I'll show you in a minute. Anyway, this is something I've done before with success. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this one since this is the more egregious. And I'm just going to duplicate. All right, so that's not frozen. And the other acoustic, I've already got the acoustic right here. That's the riff. And I'm kind of going for a layered, a little bit. I'm a big fan of that layered Billy Corgan sound, which is something I've been trying to figure out for a long time. Oh yeah, that's right. Also, a part of this new formula will be disintegrate. lest I forget, disintegrate. Okay. Now I got to figure out something here, Jonathan. More present. Okay. Well, all right. We'll get to that. That's one thing I did with the bus. One thing I attempted to do anyway, but I appreciate your input, man. Right now, I just want to focus on this logistic problem here. All right. Okay, so this is unfrozen. I've got the same chain. Okay, so basically, if I just mute this, then theoretically, okay, I'm just going to turn off the chain, turn off the effects rack, and I've got that there for when I'm ready to. All right. So now I need to do a little bit of OBS routing here. I need to get an aux input, and just so you can hear what I'm tracking. See here, properties. Oh, I got to plug in the black box. So, Jonathan, do you have like any ideas off the bat for making that acoustic more present? Do you mean literally like presence, as in like bass drive has presence? Bass drive is one of my secret weapons, you know. Okay, I'm plugging in the black box now, and let's see if Cakewalk scans it and takes it on board. So, yeah, what do you mean by more present? If you could be a little bit more specific. There we go. All right, yes, and let me see. Go into preferences. There it is. Output drivers, input. No, I don't want. Okay. Am I going to have to restart louder without overpowering the mix? Basic volume balancing. Okay. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out why it picked up the black box for output, but not input. So sometimes just a matter of a restart. Okay. Hey, Jonathan, did you see my AI produced portrait that I posted on YouTube? I gave it a photo, and I said I had it like do an indie zine line drawing. Acoustic guitars make you think of ghosts. Wow, isn't it interesting? Okay, because look, where do guitars come from? They come from ouds. They come from the Middle East. The guitar is a Middle Eastern instrument. Yeah. Yeah, he was an interesting artist. Is he still alive? Anyway, the damn thing refused to do our crumb because too controversial and mature. It's like, man, It's like we're living in this technocratic kindergarten. It's ridiculous. But anyway, it's like, okay, fine. Indie zine line drawing. Okay. And so it did, but then it threw in the end of the keyboard right here. And I'm like, dude, are you looking through my webcam? Oh, no. I have no access to your webcam, and I don't know anything about your personal information. Ha, ha, ha. I said, okay. I said, that's a rectangle, a vertical rectangle. Now turn it into a square so I can use it for social media icons. Same thing, just make it into a square. Okay. And then it comes back and it puts cakewalk into it. It's like, come on, man. I mean, do they really think we were born yesterday? Anyway. All right, let's see if so ridiculous. All right, preferences. And it's still not it's not reading the black box, which means it's not digging the USB hub. That's what that means. So this is kind of an annoying hiccup here. Audio engine dropout because I just disconnected it. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg puts black tape over his webcam. He knows. Oh, they're just. Oh man, I'm not even gonna get. I'm not gonna get started. I've got an interesting history with that world, and for a time I was kind of involved in some deep doo-doo that was kind of frightening at times, and I'm kind of glad to be done with it. It got like the level of fuckery that I experienced was at times frightening. Okay, activism, when I was younger and had the passion and the energy for that sort of thing. Okay. Hopefully this sorts it out. There we go. All right. So now we got our new track. And it's thinking. All right. Are we sorted out? No. I got this thing on bypass. And now I do like... so I think actually I was using... there is a... we're going to see if this comes through OBS now. So, Jonathan, when I'm ready... If you could kindly tell me if you're hearing the input into the, hang on. All right, properties, device, line 4, M-Audio black box. Okay, I've got two options, input options for that. We're going to see if, let's see here. Oh, this is a heavy guitar, man. This is a real piece of furniture. Oh, good Lord. Can you hear that? Ouds. Oh, yeah. Well, that's where guitars come from. And I know that because, well, I never did due diligence and fact checked him, but but Andy Edwards, the British drummer, he's a drummer. He's a pro musician. Like he. Thank you, Andy Edwards. Do you know Andy Edwards? He's a Brit. He's a drummer. He's a professional drummer. He played for Robert Plant in the early aughts of this century. He played for Robert Plant, and he's a big prog rock guy. He does really funny rants. He's got a deeply philosophical mind. So he does talks on philosophy, aesthetics, sort of social criticism, and really smart guy, really funny. And one day he was talking about, I'm a real fan of the guy. I think he's really funny, and he's one of those people that I can listen to for hours. And he was talking about how, the guitar goes back to the oud. And when you hear, especially an acoustic guitar, you're hearing that's the sound of the Middle East. And so, like Middle Eastern culture has the jinn, which are, you could call them ghosts, you call them, it all gets mixed up, really. So, so I could see that, so yeah, man, that's fascinating that you say that. Really. And I want to, now I think it's actually important that we make a point of turning some attention to that acoustic guitar. And hopefully this tracking will go pretty fast. I'm going to start with this track. It's 3 parts, right? It shouldn't, if I'm on my game, it shouldn't take me that long to redo this. And then if that brings, the other one, even though it's all bright, it sounds good. I just need to tune this thing. Oh, that's good. Little flat. Little flat. And in the discussion of how the guitar came from the oud, I think Edwards was actually, if memory serves, I think he was talking about Robert Fripp for some reason. Okay, so I'm gonna for this guitar, I like using this fancy capo. I got this, like a $50 capo, and I got 2 of them, and one of them doesn't work right. So this is the one that does work right. Okay. So just do something basic. Keep it basic. And let me check levels. Okay. Okay, here's the other question. So it's not all amp sims in this thing are bad. It's just you don't want like heavy Marshall amp sims or heavy like Mesa Boogie, like super saturated distortion fuzz from this thing. No, but this is a Vox AC30 on clean, which is decent. It's really nice. And the other one, there's a Fender Bassman preset. But just to play it safe, I'm I don't know, man. That's like, hang on, let me turn it up a bit more. Got everything on the guitar is right. Okay, that's clipping. That's not. Does that clip it? Yep, that's clipping. It's peaking too high. All right. Could be a little higher. So I'm not going to be hitting it hard. This is just like that. That's good right there. Sure thing, Jonathan. Sure thing. I appreciate you being here, my friend. I really do. All right. Since you're taking a break, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go see a man about a horse. As the men in my family used to say, back when boys were boys and men were men. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, Jonathan, I'm still giving you a minute, and I better select my pick. I'm gonna go with a medium, probably a 0.9 millimeter. And might as well just give it a go. That's basically it. Um, so the initial hit is just straight up A minor. Might as well just give this give it a go. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Yeah, that's one thing with this project. I didn't, great. Yeah, I'm just about to start. Remembering I don't have any, click track lead in on this project. I forget why. I was in a hurry when I began it, and I just didn't do that. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I remember how I got around it. So I'm gonna solo this. Hang on. First, I need to see. Oh, now I don't have any. I don't have playback. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, more routing issues. Output to line 4. Right. So there we go. This should work. I'm not using input echo, so there shouldn't be any issue with latency, but sounds like just one hit. Okay. So I'm going to solo this, hit record, and hit that chord, let it die out. Maybe like that. Here we go. One more time. Ah. Now, what I'll do is zoom in. Don't want to. Now, let's drag this back to the beginning. And maybe just a tiny bit more of a shave off. Right. Right there. Okay. And solo it. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish tracking, and then I'll turn my attention to the effects rack, and we'll bring in disintegrate, a fuzz face emulator, and tone boosters real bus. No, tone boosters broadcast. And all right. Punch in here. I'm in sound on sound. All right. This is just a dry run. All right, ready to go. All right. Now, I'm probably going to have to do a nudge. I'm guessing, and I may go back and redo this. I always still get like, I get the jitters when I'm recording, and I make little mistakes, but this is good enough for now. This is proof of concept. I can always go back, and let's see if this is coming in at the right time. Good enough. Nudge left it is. Nudge left 2 it is. And 2 more to go. Okay. I should be able to get away with that. I should have gone back to the, let's see. That last should have been back to the, hang on. Not to be too dainty about this, but right there. Okay. Good enough. Okay. And one more. Whoops. Okay, good enough for now. The nudges are because I'm working in Wasapi shared. I think that's the reason it's necessary to nudge. I don't have an ACO driver The M Audio Black Box is not ACO. So I'm all within Windows. I'm in the Windows padded cell. All right. So here we go. Let's go back to our effects rack. And what was I doing with Time Machine? Okay, I was kind of experimenting with kind of like digital 8-bit lo-fi stuff at the time, and I'm just going to dispense with that. And that's excellent. Chris Hooker's, that's a really good plugin for, yeah, that's another secret weapon. But this one, well, I'm just going to leave that where it is for now, although I'm probably going to change that. This one, I'm going to leave that. Broadcast. I'm going to turn it off, but that's probably going to be on loud. I'm going to bypass it for the time being. STFU, I'm going to leave. That one I'm going to leave. Voxengo. Stereo touch, man. You know, sometimes I like Chris's wideners, but there's other ones that I like too. Voxengo stereo touch, just depends on the situation. Okay, so Distortique face bender is going to go before or after. I'm thinking before that one. And I'll take it to stereo. Max the fuzz. Gonna go with probably silicon. Germanium is good for leads. Let's just see how it sounds. I forget what exact setting I had, but well, it definitely sounds better than what I had before, but it's still not bringing any dark in. So what was it again? Wolfbot? Let's see, but let's check out with... Oh, I forgot. Lest I forget. I will try Wolfbot. First, I'm bringing in... Okay, I forget if it's before the fuzz or after, but I'm bringing in... Disintegrate. Was that in effects? Yeah. And I believe it was that's like the starting point. Wait a minute. It doesn't sound like it's doing as much. I want that speaker with drumstick holes punched in it. Kind of. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, okay. Got a little dark. Tiny bit. Hang on. I want to keep meter up. This is not, of course, every mix is different, right? Still at 100% bright. This is not what I expected. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, let me try this. Let me try this. I got two of these by Distortique, and the other one is this one. It might have been this one that brought the dark. All right. So this one here, which I was using for the wobble. Of course, well, I even have my own setting for it here, Hungry Ghost. But I like the edge it's giving it, but I'm going to go without it for now. Let me see what you just had to say. Just recommend Wolfbot. Okay. Yes, it does. It does. Right here. The clean blend. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is progress. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. I'm going to go with all right. Look at that. We're going to try Wolfbot. And this doesn't have an amp sim on it, right? I mean, okay, it was this was a Vox AC30 clean, okay, which I kind of prefer to just bypass, right? It did something, yeah. We're on to something here. I just want to check one more thing. I'll take a bump in sonority. Yeah, I know. Hang on just a second. I just want to see what this does. Because I like this grit. That edge. But still... Okay, let's bring in Wolfbot. Let's bring in the Wolfbot. And we could also look at the EQ. So I think we can do away with that. Oh, shit. Okay. Man, this is going to crash the whole project. And did I save? Shh. Man. Is there any way out of this? That's what I get. That's what I get, Jonathan. I knew. Yep. I made a mental note not to use that fucking plugin again because of that reason. If it saved the first... Did I hit save after tracking any of that? No. All right. Real quick. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Just the first bit. Real quick. I'm just going to do this bit right here, not even the intro. Just so we'll have something to work with. Sorry about this, man. Just, you know how it goes. All right. Okay, that gives us enough to sort out the signal processing end of it. And let me just quickly get back to where we were. Well, if you say so. I was trying to be mindful of your time, brother. Did I just do the nudge? Yeah, I did. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Yeah, let's go for it. Bada bing, bada boom. And see, I threw my pick. Okay. I'll get the intro later. Hang on. Process. Much left. Okay. F, I'll get, it's only one chord. Yeah. Heck. Okay, that does it. Save. Now, let me just quickly get back to what we had here. That was this goodbye, this goodbye. This was bypassed. This was on high pressure. Airwindows was all right, roughly that a little bit down. That's somewhere around there. And face bender, yoink, yoink, tweak, there. That's basically it. And all right, let's go here. What the hell's going on now? I thought I was, oh, that wasn't disintegrate? See, I was in a hurry. I stayed in Galactic. Dude. Okay, like, and something like that. All right, let's see how it sounds. It sounds way darker, eh? Let me save it. Save. See, I said that sounds darker, but it doesn't. What's the difference? There's something with this. Still? No, it's not Galactic anymore. Oh, okay, so, all right. Face bender, dry, wet. Still sounds different than before, but all right. It sounds like Disintegrate is doing more heavy lifting this time. Yeah, I didn't think Disintegrate was... I felt like it wasn't extreme enough when I was using it before, but now... Now, how do I get that darkness back? Clean blend. That's not making the same difference it did before. What am I missing? Filter up. I like that, man. That's the kind of texture that I want right there. That's good. I like that. Okay, I like the way that sounds. Now, if we could just leave that the way it is. I'm liking how that is right there. But it still doesn't have an amp sim. And isn't Wolfbot in amp sims? Okay, that does sound a lot brighter right there, doesn't it? Okay, we're leaving that off for the time being, and we're bringing in the Wolfbot. All right. Wolfbot. With the evil in his heart. I don't know why. I've tried this thing before, and I never really... It doesn't seem like evil to me. That's probably because I didn't really get what it's supposed to be doing. So what do you think? Where should I put it? Oh, you're right. last for now. Not even before the stereo touch. How's that? Either way, it's a vast improvement over what it's replacing. I like the sound. I do. But you know, you got to hear it in the mix, right? I'm not saying I'm finished with it, but I like where it's going. Like, this is where I want to go. So, I mean, compare to this. This is terrible. This is much better. Gain before and after Wolfbot? All right. I want to hear how this sounds in the mix right now. Actually, to get a proper meter reading, I'm going to go back to the beginning. That's right. That's better right off the bat. Because it was starting at 100% bright. Yeah, look. I've even got some green peaks in there. Okay, so a bigger lift in sonority than in dark, but still, that brings that annoying bright right down to like where I want it. So bright is down around in the 30s. That's where I want bright. If I could balance sonority, I find like roughly equal parts bright, sonority, and dark. Anyway. Consolidated gain before and after Wolfbot to balance the effects. Consolidated had as an. Are you talking about purist gain? Anyway, this is progress. So here's Wolfbot. But is that really an amp sim though? Why is that under amp sims? It's got no parameters. It's really it's a DI sim. It says DI, Wolfbox DI. Should I try an amp sim? You tell me, man. A gain before and after Wolfbot. Are you talking purist gain? While I wait for your answer, I'm inspired by Motown. Okay. Very cool. But what do you mean about the gain before and after Wolfbot? Are you talking purist gain? I really dig bass amp. And I'm going to try it. Open Wolfbot. All right. There's Wolfbot. There's volume wheels. Oh. Down here? Down here. Are you talking about the input and output trims? These are really hard to, there's no way to, I've tried to work with these. There's no way to dial in. There's no way to double click and dial in a number. And then they're so small. It's like, even if I hold down the shift key while I adjust, it's like, but what do you recommend? It's like hard to even see them. But what do you recommend before and after? And I'm just going to follow you. Ooh. Listen to that. Listen to that. Listen to what bass amp does. Right on. Yeah, I just think these, I don't know. I'm not going to presume to make suggestions of Chris about, like, I'm nobody, but I would suggest making these a little bit bigger and easier to be precise with. Okay. And amp sim with a single preset. Okay. First off, what do you think, even though I'm clipping over here, but what do you think about bass amp? I mean, holy hell. I could but clip softly on the end of it, but just for the sake of just want to hear what this sound. I love this amp sim. You can still hear it going. Dropout was too. It has to come down more. I think I'm gonna use bass amp. I'm gonna bring up dry a little bit, take high down a little bit. Not that much. Well, you could really hear the dropout. And I have found use for sub. Too much of a dropout. But I think this really brings something. Yeah. Still too much of a dropout. Okay, we'll leave that aside for now. All right. Wolfbot. Purest gain. That's before. And that's after. Okay, so there's purest gain before. There's Wolfbot. There's purest gain after. So what do you suggest? Okay, that's who Bacon Paul is. Okay. Well, I'm sure other people have mentioned it. It's not like a huge deal, but do it by ear. I'm not sure what I'm listening for. That's the thing. But could you recommend, like, what would you start with? Would you boost before and attenuate after, or attenuate before and boost after, or what would you do? And by how much? All right. Let's just try 6 before and 6 after. Boost and attenuate in equal parts? Like 6 before and 3 after? Oh. That's maybe a little bit too... That's not a bad setting to begin with, I think. Wow, that sounds pretty good. I got to be mindful of the bass line. God, too much of a dropout. I should have let that ring out longer. I should have let that... Hang on. Yeah. I should have let that ring out longer. Damn, that's bigger than... That's deceptively big. Stretch it? No, I just didn't let it I didn't let it ring out long enough. That's okay. I can go back and redo it. No biggie. But that should be long enough. Well, like what I could do is just I could just do a destructive fade on it. It doesn't need to be ringing out that long anyway. I could just do a destructive fade. That's the least of my concerns right now. This is bigger than it actually sounds, for one thing. And ombre, yeah. So right here is bass amp. I might still go back to that, but let's try ombre. That's under ambience, right? Voicing and intensity. What do you think? Put it after Wolfbot or before? Boom. It's pretty subtle. Oh, there we go. That's making it quieter. It's a slightly different texture. I'm not sure it's really bringing anything to the table. But hear it in the mix. I'll tell you one thing that is not coming through at all, Jonathan, is this. This. The arpeggiations are not coming through at all. Those are completely lost. Which was one of the things that I wanted in there, you know? Yep, that's why I'm... This is an amazing plugin. Wait a minute. It's between high pressure and loud. think it's going to be loud. Time for the secret weapon, Jonathan. Time for the secret weapon. You hear what a tone shaper this is? And just listen to it bypassed. Just put everything at default. That's just a default. Listen to what a powerful tone shaper that is. Yeah. I wonder if we look at meter while we're tweaking these knobs. Have to listen to it in the mix. Anyway, the arpeggiations are poking through just a little bit. Bright is down, sonority is up. It's better than it was before. I still think that I'm still not, I don't think Hombre is really doing anything. Intention is right up there. Sonority and novelty kind of neck and neck. All right, now I'm going to go back to bass amp. Okay, yeah. I will. Just 1 second. I just want to proof a concept real quick here. That. Okay, I'm going to leave that as it is and just look at this for a second here. But Wolfbot, I'm a fan. All right. Bass amp bringing some dark. Now the dropout is going to drop. Okay. Bear with me here. Just going to take one more sec. Might as well turn the metronome off. Okay. What do you think of bass amp? I kind of like it. I kind of like that amp sim. I use it a lot. Okay. Except for drums and the acoustic. Okay. All right. I think so. So that could ring out all the way through that gap. That. All right. I'll just do it in order. In order of, okay, let's do it in order of appearance. Whoops. That's it for the time being. The gong you may or may not pick up on, but right here, it's kind of like a synth pad. So the second contact is about to kick in. Eight is the track that I'm replacing. You want to hear that too? 8 is the old, that's what I'm doing away with. You want to hear it? I didn't think so. I don't want to hear it either. So, I mean, you see how they kind of like come in at their own times, so I don't really have to turn them on as such, right? I mean, it starts off with just these two, and then drums come in. Oh, and then this one, which is just, this is just one C chord held all the way through, but it's doing synth shit. But you can hear them come in one at a time, right? So, oh. All right. Whoops. So one more time. Not a synth bass, by the way. It's actually played on the guitar. If the acoustic, the new guitar and drums. Acoustic 2 times by air. Okay. If the acoustic. Okay. The acoustic, the new guitar, and if the acoustic, the new guitar, and the drums were the main focus, it would be a more optimal sound. If the acoustic, the new guitar, and the drums. Acoustic, new guitar, and drums. I just turned down the Hammond a little bit. And which, yeah, that's not a bad thing to do. What do you think about this? Let's listen to this contact synth. Is only like those 3 parts of the song, you know? Only here, here, and here. Hey, Grens. Welcome. You know, Jonathan, I need a break. I actually need a break. This is a good time just to cool the heels. Because Grens, I just want to finish saying something to Jonathan. Yeah, about the drums. My friend Phil in Florida, he does like, he's old school. Most of his stuff is from the 80s, his synths, and he still does all his composition in a sequencer. All in his head. And then he transfers it into Cakewalk, and he's got like 150 tracks, and I don't know how he does it. And he's always like, yeah, those drums could hit harder. And I've just noticed it, like, I think it, and I did make them hit a little bit harder, but it's like, it's not like my first priority. It's not, obviously it's not EDM, and it's not, I'm just kind of going for me, it's okay if the drums sort of like take a back seat during the solo a little bit. But anyway, I'm kind of like, I'm getting a little fatigued. I think we covered a lot of ground here, and I'm kind of like happy to sort of leave it here for now and come back to it later. I will retract these though, and make your drums harder, but making other elements that are overpowering your drums less loud. Okay, I mean I hear what you're saying, and I you know what I need to do, Jonathan? Actually, I've just been lazy about it, but you see, I've got purest gain first in the master bus. It's down to like -10 because I just been too lazy to go back and re-level. But that's probably a sign that I need to kind of like get off my ass and go back and re-level, huh? So I'll take your advice as another cue. Like, I'll save that for tomorrow. I'll just go back to square one and re-level. But yeah. But definitely, let's just take one more look at meter. And even though it's like, see, so if we look at this new part, this retract part in meter, we can see that it is it's got some dark in it. Not a lot. It certainly sounds darker. Okay, so it's mainly bringing sonority, but I've got quite a bit in there to tweak. The fuzz, obviously, so there's still more darkness potential in that by itself, and then, but still, that grating brightness. Bright was up around 70% sometimes, and it just, no. Well, okay. I suppose. Look, yeah, so I would say, in terms of the kind of sound I like for heavy sounds, I'm a big Corgan Smashing Pumpkins guy. Like before they kind of went off the rails with like everything up to Melancholy. And then after Melancholy, it kind of whatever. Like up through Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. I really like that. And if you run those like Siamese Dream and Melancholy through meter, sonority is consistently up in the 90s. But they did it in such a way that it's not fatiguing. It works, right? So high sonority is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that you just have to. Sometimes it's hard to get. You could lose the detail and granularity, right? So it's kind of but yeah, I would say. But there's still a lot. I'm so picky. There's a lot of stuff but also 70s, and so some 80s. So. Yeah. Like I told you, I was like there's just some sounds in the 70s that I definitely gravitate towards. Grens, how you been, man? Fatigue years are weird monsters. Grens, this is your first time dropping by here. How you been? Are you in the Netherlands? I don't know why, but I don't have a distinct memory of why that comes to mind. Netherlands? Okay, good. All right. How are things? How are things in Europe? Hey, I got some Italian and what does that mean? I'm a dumb American. Italian in, how do I pronounce it? Dude, I don't know. Okay. That's the name of a city? How do so I'm afraid to try to pronounce it. Is that a Dutch name? Inskede? Because of English spelling. Would I say Inskede or Insked? Yeah. Okay. Listen, there's something I want to do for my own. I don't have like a big audience on this channel. I just, I've got a little tribe. And, but all this kind of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. Like, I think we've been in the middle of, I think we've been in World War III for a long time. It's just, it's people think of war in terms of like the two world wars. And this is like, the war that we're in is like, it's omni and so meta. It's like so many different levels. And, I want to interview you guys. I want to, not just about that, but like among other things, cultural stuff. I want to hear, because I grew up in, obviously I grew up in the United States. Yeah, yeah, definitely. In more ways than one. It's just, and it's a very esoteric war. And it has extremely ancient roots. There's a lot of like occult elements in it. It's madness, yeah. Right. Well, I think it's important that I think it's important that we talk about it. And I think it's important that we, not just for, it's important. Yeah, it is. And I learned in the last little while, like let's say the last couple, 3 years, well, I started learning about it during the Canadian truckers protest when they occupied Ottawa, which was kind of like a religious experience for me. That whole time I was just like glued to the live streams, and I just I had so much admiration and respect for those truckers and Canadians. But I also, and there was also the farmers' protests in Holland, and I learned about, like, per capita, you guys grow the most food in the world, right? Like, you're the most productive farmers in the world. It's like so impressive what you Dutchmen have done with that patch of land reclaimed from the ocean. It's incredible, right? But it's not only impressive. It brings into such stark relief the absolutely murderous folly of central planners. These unbelievably just egotistical bureaucrats that want to dictate policy about things that they don't know nothing about. They're not experts in anything except just being assholes, and they want to tell you how to, how much nitrogen you can have in your soil when you guys, the land is dying, too much ammonia, too many animals. Okay, well, see, this is why I want to have interviews, because I want to get. I'm curious, and part of the war that we're in is the fog of war. and so a big part of the war is like information. It's psychological, misinformation, disinformation. There's a lot of money that goes into misinformation and disinformation. A lot of the big voices in alternative media that I used to trust, I don't trust anymore. Biodiversity down like 60%. So I don't mean to do the interview right now. I think we should like set a proper time to like get on Discord, like face to face with a camera, if you don't mind, and actually get down into the nuts and bolts of it. But like one preliminary question I would throw out there is like, do you think that some unelected bureaucrats in Brussels, do they have the wherewithal to solve these problems? If there's too much ammonia in the soil, too many animals, and biodiversity is going down, who is better equipped to solve these problems? Some bureaucrats in Brussels or the farmers on the ground in the Netherlands? You know what I mean? And I don't know the answer, but I suspect it's not unelected bureaucrats in Brussels that are on power trips. Central planning. I mean, anyway, yeah, it is just chatting, but it's like we're in the shit with this stuff. And, you know, my most pressing interest with it is farmers here are owning most of the land. So my impression, the picture that I got, they got cheated by the banks, right? Well, okay, so this is the impression that I got. And the same thing's happening in Canada, right? Because, all right, but why were the farmers like pulling up to bureaucrats' mansions and hosing them down with manure? Well, because their operational costs were what? Fertilizer prices are being jacked up. They're being told how to manage the land, and they were losing their land. Buy more animals than they did. The planners told the farmers to buy more animals. Yeah, well, of course. Look, I'm just like, banks. And I'm not, I'm not a fan of the EU, the WEF, the WHO. And it's not because I'm a conspiracy theorist. It's not that. It's just that I've read their white papers. I've read their publications. I've watched the speeches that they give. Me too. And common sense. Listen, I've listened to these people talk. I've listened to how they talk about farmers for, among other people. I've listened to their Davos speeches. I've read their websites, and they're hardcore like eugenicists. The EU is quite okay. Yeah. I don't know. Is Sweden okay? I keep hearing about like rape crisis with immigrants. Like young immigrants raping girls and getting a slap on the wrist? Is that all sensationalized? I don't know anymore. I see like footage of Paris with like streets that are just trashed and like with little tent cities of. I see. It's not that I have anything against like. You see, you bring up something like this, and immediately you're shouted down as a racist. It's not that. Went burning tires on the highway. Yeah. Well, it looks like you say that you just said EU is quite okay. So, not many problems. EU is okay. No, all right. Yeah. Well, So, are you a fan of the EU? And the farmers are fine? Because I haven't checked on it in a while. What about the last time I checked, who was it? Geert Wilders was the kind of your populist version of a kind of a Dutch Trump. Was it Geert Wilders? They spend money on nothing. Well, I can tell you that in the United States, you've got like biological males beating up on women in sports and like hospital, like giving them brain damage, and tampon dispensers in boys' restrooms, and middle school girls forced to strip naked in front of boys in locker rooms, and you've got kids that graduate high school at the top of their class suing the school district because they don't know how to read. You've got just total Soros-funded, astroturfed, vandals burning cities and wrecking the country. You've got these gangs that they say, like Tren de Aragua and whatever they're, these gangs that they say are from where, like El Salvador and not Nicaragua, Venezuela maybe, which are actually CIA. They're actually CIA cutouts. Like these guys, they get tatted up in LA and then injected into the society. The U.S. is a dumpster fire, man. Dumpster fire. Yeah, well, and I've got a nice, quiet life here. I'm so grateful to be here. So grateful to be here, man. The USA is just, it's a hot mess. And it's not like, and I'm the kind of guy that I think that the political establishment in the United States is equally rotten on both sides. I would say that the left, they've just gone, they've gone so far into ideology that they've lost touch with reality. Like I'm talking like just biological reality and some things, and it's abusive. It's actually like they say they are for women's rights, but it's like I would say that they're, I don't know, man. But then there's a lot of like really good at well-intentioned people. It's just a mess. I like you. I like reason. I like common sense, and I'm 53 years old, and I come from a time that I think was when I was growing up in high school, like there were no racial problems. I went to a school that was about 30% black and 10 to 15% Native American, and there was no racial tension. We all got along. This is the 80s. We all got along. No problem. Mark Rufa, NATO director. Yeah. Well, it's good to talk to actual people there, because anymore, I just want to return to sanity. Bernie Sanders is sinner. See, Grens, I think this is not my original idea, but I'm trying. I think we're living in flatland. It's like left, right, and center. It's flatland. And everybody's fighting left, right, and center. But we need to be looking like this way. There's another axis to look at, right? And the higher ups on that axis are pitting the ends of the horizontal axis against each other, which they're fairly expert at. But well, anyways, yeah, I'm trying to make music over here with varying results. Jonathan has been very kind and has he's come in here and taught me quite a lot. USA has less choice. We can't form a government with two parties. Yeah, it's just America is just. I don't even know what to say about it. It's not two parties, really. It's one party. It's one party, and it's a uniparty. They all take money from the same. One hand feeds the other, and people are onto it now. That more and more. How many houses does Bernie Sanders have? He drives a nice expensive sports car. Give me a break. Right? Washington just needs an asteroid as far as I'm concerned. I'm an extremist. But you're right. Yeah, make music. But I do think we need to, it helps us to talk to each other and cut through the nonsense. Man, I'm starting to, it's getting on 2:30 a.m. here. And I already had one sleep cycle, but I should probably go down for another one. As they should, Grens, as they should. Right. And you know who had the best system that I've seen for stopping corruption was Gaddafi. And he's demonized, right? Muammar Gaddafi, crazy Colonel Gaddafi. You ever read his green book and the system that he had in Libya under Gaddafi? Right? Government office was like jury duty. I don't know if you got jury duty in Holland, but like in America, you got jury duty where you have to go sit on the jury. You get a notice in the mail. It's like a civic duty. You got to do it. And so, and they didn't get paid for it, or they got paid like a measly stipend. And they had a system of councils like local, regional, national, and everybody's watching each other like a hawk to make sure nobody's on the take. And he had very little corruption, at least from what I understand. And what did they do? And he wanted to start an African gold standard based currency, and they shoved a sword up his ass. And Hillary Clinton got on TV and cackled about it. The USA is just gross. You know why? I first came to Korea in 1996 out of grad school, just because I'd never been out of America and I just wanted to experience another part of the world. And then I married a Korean girl, took her to New York, and then 9/11 happened, and then here goes the USA to take over the Middle East on all this bullshit, and the woman, my Korean wife, she split, and I was like, I'm not paying one single dime into this war machine. I'm not doing it. That's why I came back to Korea. That's why I'm here. 2003, I came back here. So I'm not supporting that. You know? And yeah, yes, sir. I'm in South Korea. I've been in South Korea for the last 22 years. But I first came 29 years ago, almost. Yeah. And it's a good place to be. Like every place, it's got problems, but it's I feel very fortunate to be here. And but you know, my vested interest in the survival of the United States is the U.S. keeps this place from getting taken over by China. Yeah. The cuisine is, it's not my favorite in the world, but it is good. And I'm married in here, so I've had a mother-in-law, and I know what the real stuff is like. And it's great. But also the quality. Like in America, there's like everything is just got, the food supply in America is just poisoned. When my father came here to visit, he could feel it. After like 3 days, he's like, the food is better here. I'm like, yeah. There's no high fructose corn syrup. There's no, red 39. Well, if they have sugar in something, it's generally like either just good old fashioned sugar, or it's like they've got their own kind of version of almost kind of like a molasses that's made from rice bran. That's just healthier, you know. But they don't inject high fructose corn syrup into everything, and it's not full of like yoga mat chemicals and carcinogens. And yeah, it's just better. Everything is better here. It's safe. It's clean. It's modern. It's, and the people they have no idea how good they have it. But that's a whole nother story. But I feel like really, really lucky to be here. Yeah. I've been to Europe one time. That was back in 2007. And it was very different back then to what it is now, I think. But yeah. Well, anyway, Grens, man, I'm kind of, I need to, it's like getting on, it's 2:34 a.m. And I probably better get another sleep cycle in. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't. I don't complain anymore. I really don't. I count my blessings. I've learned. Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to try. Jonathan, if you're still there, thank you again, sir. I can't thank you enough. You've been, Jonathan is a very kind soul. So maybe Jonathan had to run, or I hope I didn't scare him off with my rantings. Anyways, Grens, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. And I haven't been in the Airwindows live chats because I've been trying to, Chris tends to come on around this time in the morning when I'm trying to, I've always been a night owl, but I'm trying to turn that around. That's why I haven't been in the Airwindows chats, but good to see you here, man. And yeah, you too. And I hope to see you again, brother. Take care over there, and pleasure. Okay. And everyone else out there, as I always sign off, God bless and keep you wherever you are, whatever you're doing, within reason, of course. From lovely scenic Paju City, South Korea, this has been Lean Bear, over and out.